Hello, my name is Collector's Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs and video games, and today I'm playing Slay the Spire. The challenge run for today is Common Sense, which means we cannot have uncommon or rare cards in our deck. This is pretty much the same as the in-game achievement of the same name, the Common Sense achievement, with one small change that I cannot have uncommon or rare cards anytime during the run. Which means it's slightly harder, but it's basically the same. I have run this challenge once before on the Defect and the Silent. Both of them essentially completed the challenge on Ascension 1. This time we're going to do it with the Ironclad and the Watcher on some higher Ascension level. We're going to get some personal bests, hopefully. So let's go. Starting with the Ironclad. Now, let's go Ascension 4. I don't actually know, I don't recall how difficult this challenge is. Both the Defect and the Silent deck went into Act 4 and died against the heart, which means I think we can do Ascension 4. Let's try it. So, 3 random potions is perfectly fine. Transforming cards is not. Transforming cards would mean that I could end up with an uncommon or rare, and that's not allowed. Similar with the final one. Many of my challenges force me not to do the boss swap because it's possible the boss swap will invalidate the challenge on floor 0, which is not great. So it's really between 3 random potions or a card. It could really go either way. Potions would allow us to more easily go to elite battles. It looks like what I want to do is probably go this way and go to these 2 elites. But there's also something to be said for going the far right and going to these 2 elites, including the Burning Elite in Act 1. Same number of fires, same number of shops, same number of elites. I mean, I guess there's one more shop this way, but I probably wouldn't go to both. Does that help me make this decision? Not really. Let's choose a card. So I cannot choose Rupture, because Rupture is an uncommon. You can tell, by the way, by the banner. So common cards have a gray banner, uncommon have a blue banner, rare card have yellow banners. Body Slam is probably one of my favorite common damage cards. However, I think it's a lot worse if you cannot have uncommons or rares in your deck. I think it's a lot worse that way. So I might choose Iron Wave instead of Body Slam. I think I will. But if we see a future Body Slam and we've picked up an Iron Wave or 2, it will be a lot better. And hello Debbie, welcome to the stream. So which way do I want to go? I really want to go the more risky way. Let's do that. I do want to visit a few combats because having a restriction on which cards I can pick up does make it so that I want to go to combats more often and see more card rewards. Even though the restriction is rare in uncommons, which are, you know, less common than the commons, I still think that I would rather see a little bit more combats than I would normally. So this hand is quite bad. We're going to take 7 damage this turn. Ouch. I don't think I could have prevented that happenstance, not with the draw that we ended up with. But this is a lot more damage for the first fight than you'd expect. Oh well, the Burning Blood does heal us a little bit. So we cannot take Feel No Pain. There's the Body Slam again. Could still take Body Slam. I am considering it. Twin Strike is pretty decent damage card at the beginning, though. I think I'm going to take Twin Strike. And there's a couple things I'm thinking of. I think Perfected Strike is a common card. I don't remember off the top of my head, but we could have a Perfected Strike run. If we're forced to take commons, a lot of the strike cards are commons. So Twin Strike here, Iron Wave, and then as long as I win quickly enough, there's no reason to defend, because we'll just heal up this 1 damage we're taking. Like so. Nice attack potion. Alright, all of these are commons. There is something to be said for taking another Iron Wave here. But also, I do like True Grit as a common. True Grit goes down in usefulness quite a lot with this challenge because a lot of the synergies with the card, the exhaust synergies, go away if you take away the uncommon and rare cards. So I think I might go another Iron Wave, which is a pretty strange start, but I kind of like it. Kind of like the weird Iron Wave start. Golden Idol. I will definitely take that, and I think 20 damage is perfectly fine. Can I defeat one? This one essentially has 19 health, this one has 18 health. Could do 18 with 3 strikes, but then we would take 7. We can't mix in an Iron Wave there. So in that case, we're just going to hit them both and defend as much as we can. Take 4. That takes care of you. And that takes care of you. Alright, so Heavy Blade. The problem with Heavy Blade is, how do we gain strength? What common cards give you strength? I'm having trouble thinking of any. Demon Form is rare. I think that the power that gives you strength is uncommon. I think that there's a skill that gives you strength, which is uncommon. Basically, the only way we gain strength is through relics. Which means I think I'm not interested in a Heavy Blade. And I'm not really interested in a Warcry yet. Maybe we'll get there eventually. So I'm going to skip all of these. Hey, find some potions. Don't really want the Snecko Oil, but the Gambler's Brew and the Power Potion are very nice. And what do we smith first in this deck? Could be Bash. Or it could be an Iron Wave. Or Twin Strike. Twin Strike adds 4 damage to a 1-cost card. That adds a lot of damage. I think I'll do Twin Strike. And we do fight the Gremlin Knob first. Gremlin Knob is not nearly as bad when we've got Iron Waves. Iron Waves work pretty well against Gremlin Knob. I do probably want this attack potion though. Let's use it. So Clash is not useful here. Pummel Strike is probably useful. What's my deck? I actually wouldn't want to play Pummel Strike this turn, though, because I'd prefer to draw those cards next turn. So I guess we get another Iron Wave. We are going to take the hit next turn, though. There's no way to win this turn. I probably want to play Bash. This is my draw pile. And if I don't play Bash, I could play... Let's see how much damage I do with Bash and without Bash. So if I do Bash, I would do Bash Twin Strike. That would deal... I think the Twin Strike would do 10 times 2, so that would be 20. 28 damage. If I don't play the bash, I would do Iron Wave, Strike, Twin Strike for 25 damage. So the bash is better, except that I take some hits, but the bash means that I can probably win next turn. Yes, and I can win next turn. There we go. A War Paint. Not too bad. So there is one of those uncommon cards which make the exhaust synergies not really work in this challenge. I didn't take a War Cry before, we can't take the other two, let's skip. And War Paint. The only skills I have are defense. You know? Let's upgrade some defense. Now the shop. See, the shop could give me strength. I gain bunches of strength, but also my enemies gain strength. And the only thing I could buy up here in this shop from cards is War Cry. So, what do we want to do? Probably just card remove, and remove a strike. Because I can't really buy anything in that shop. And then let's keep getting upgrades. I like upgrades. Art of War doesn't particularly work with the deck that we've built so far, but it might help later. And let's upgrade. Upgrading Bash would that help against the elite that we're going to fight? No. Upgrading Iron Wave helps with the elite. Because the elite that we're fighting is either Lagavulin, which you don't want to do. You don't want to upgrade Bash because then Bash would wake it up. Or the 3 Sentries, and the vulnerability from Bash doesn't hit against the 3 Sentries. Granted, do we want to wake this up immediately? Maybe. Let's see what our Power Potion has. Our Power Potion has Demon Form. Demon Form makes me not want to wake up the Lagavulin on the first turn, because we can gain more strength if we wait. So we will wait again. And the Art of War is actually helping in this fight. Well, it tried to help. We actually didn't draw something that we would use with it. So we have to wake it up this turn, because it's going to wake up either way. And then 20 damage. Wow. I guess I didn't have much hope of drawing something better than this. At least we're doing lots and lots of damage, if not blocking much. Although I think we're just winning. Oh, right. We took 15 damage, but we did win very quickly. And we got an anchor. Start every battle with block. So Spot Weakness is the skill I was talking about that adds strength, and we can't take that. Wild Strike is another strike card, but it's probably my least favorite of the strike cards. Let's skip. And I think I want to see more combats, because I really do want more cards that I would want to put in my deck. And we haven't found many of those. This is a slightly unfortunate combat to run into, though, because we're taking damage. Okay, so half of its health is 34. If I did this, it would get down to 32. So I could split it this turn. Let's do that. Let's split it this turn into 23s. And we could defend all of this. I like the idea of defending all of this. Maybe we can come out of here only taking that initial 3 damage. This is the reason why we might not, though. However, I can block all of this. Great. Twin Strike, Iron Wave, and a Strike. Going well so far. There's Double Tap, also a rare. Heavy Blade, as we talked about before. We don't really have a way to gain strength. And I said that I might want a Body Slam. With the upgraded defense and the 2 Iron Waves, I think I will take a Body Slam. And Body Slam will probably be my upgrade here, because I really like the upgrade to Body Slam. Makes it cost 0. Now, great. This is a perfect place for the Body Slam. So we can Body Slam any of them. Guess let's do the one that's weakening me. And then just use up the curl-ups of those 2. I guess the anchor also helps the Body Slam. Let's play these 2 and win. These are all uncommon. I can't take those. And let's smith again. I guess I want to smith Iron Wave now, because it makes my Body Slam a little bit better. And it's good against this particular boss. Not that I'm very worried about this particular boss. So we do want to play Twin Strike and Body Slam after playing the defense. Although I just played most of my defense, so we don't have defense for this next part. Oh well. The Iron Wave kind of counts as defense. It also kind of hurts me. Again, the Iron Wave kind of counts as defense. It's getting me essentially 4 block. I want to play Bash here. If I play Bash, I might be taking 20 damage, unless I'm not playing Twin Strike. Other option, so one option is Bash, Twin Strike, take 20 damage. One is Bash, Defend, take 15, deal only 8, and rely on next turn to deal the damage, which doesn't look great. So I think I'm going to go with the third option, which is Twin Strike, Defend, Body Slam, and Strike. Do a lot of the damage, but still take 15. Alright, how can we deal the most damage here? Strike, Strike, Iron Wave. I guess it didn't matter which order I did those in, but I thought about it anyway. Here again, Defend, Iron Wave only sort of acts as defense. I could use the Body Slam to deal 9 and take 3. Seems pretty bad when I'm at 23, and the enemy's at 135. Glad to draw those 2 defends. And then this turn is the important turn. Can we block? We can block a fair amount this turn. I actually should have used Bash first. I didn't realize that the Art of War had been used there. So we lost a little bit of damage due to that mistake. Now, this time it matters which order I play the cards in. If I do 2 strikes, then he flips over. So I guess what we want to do is Iron Wave and Iron Wave to do the most damage before he blocks. And then can we survive here? It's actually getting somewhat dicey. Although this one's nice because I get to do 13 damage and not take any damage back. We drew a Defend, but that's it. Ooh. We might die. I might want to use this duplication potion on that Defend. Alright. I was not worried about this fight, and now I very much am worried about this fight. We do get a bunch of defense here. We can actually play all of our cards. So let's play all of the cards. With Body Slam at the end, of course. I'm sad that we used our duplication potion, but I did feel the need. And is there a way to win this turn? Because we have to not turn him over. This does not turn him over, and then we can play Defend and Body Slam to win. Great. These are all rare cards. I don't know why I opened the pack. Can't take those. The Mark of Pain seems pretty bad, because the 2 wounds, I can't really get rid of them, and they just gum up my draw pile. The Cursed Key prevents me from taking a couple of relics, unless I am happy with a curse in there. I guess I'm going to take the Cursed Key, because the other option is Philosopher's Stone, and that seems even worse. So let's take the Cursed Key. Not feeling great about this run so far, though. Let's see if we can get through the city. So in the city, I don't think I can handle a very early elite. So this one right there seems a little bit scary, and these 2 seem a little scary. So in order to avoid those, we have to go this path. And it'd be great to visit that shop. So let's start here. We do have 4 energy now. That is good. But I don't know how much I'm going to be able to use it each turn. There's really no reason to use Bash in this fight, so let's not use Bash. Ooh, drew almost no block this turn. Which means we're going to take some hits. We can't quite win here. Took some damage, took 11 damage overall in that fight. There's an upgraded Twin Strike to add to the deck. It is a pretty decent damage card as a common. I think I will take it. It's not exactly what I want to see, but I don't really know what I want to see. I do want to see some better defense. But other than that, I'm not really sure what I want to see. This first turn we can just play everything, so let's play everything. Second turn we are being dazed, so let's hit really hard. And third turn, hopefully we can just win. There. Flex. Actually, Flex Plus. It's a common card, it gives us strength. We have 2 Twin Strikes in the deck, which could quite easily benefit from that. The only downside is a 0-cost card with no draw abilities when we're on 4 energy is not the best. But I think we take it. And it's already doing good things here. So let's use the Flex. That means... Let's see here. Do I want to attack the Shelled Parasite first? I think no. Because if we kill this one now, we will take overall no damage this turn and probably not much next turn. So what's the most efficient way to kill that creature? We don't really have an efficient way to kill it. We're always going to do extra damage. Maybe that's a reason to not kill it this turn. No, that's not a good reason. We're just going to deal extra damage to it. Now, we are still vulnerable this turn, which is the dangerous turn. With 4 energy, what do we do here? I think we do Bash, Iron Wave, Defend, and take some lumps. 19 damage. I'm now questioning my decision of killing the little one first, by the way. So neither of these first matters because neither of them get through the block, which we are knocking down. Only a single defend here. That hurts. So I think we play Defend, Bash, Twin Strike, and Body Slam. The Strike is the worst card, so let's do that. And can we win this turn? It feels like we should be able to. We're going to play the Twin Strike no matter what. Let's start there. Great. A regen potion. That's pretty nice after that battle. Ho-ho, Shrug It Off. Shrug It Off is the card that I wanted that I couldn't think of. That's excellent. Gives me a draw and defense. Snake Plant. Dislike Snake Plant. So Iron Wave is good. Is Strike good? No. Strike is strictly worse than playing Defend. Because Defend adds 8 damage to the Body Slam. There we go. 41 damage first turn Body Slam. I like it. We are weakened now. No reason not to play Flex, of course. And Strike is the worst card in our hand, so that's the one that we're not playing. And always play Twin Strike last, because it triggers the Malleable twice. Alright, can't take Metallicize. We could take Pummel Strike. Pummel Strike, the upgrade to Pummel Strike is quite nice. And at this point, what else am I upgrading in my deck? Because the upgrade adds another draw. It'd be nice to have something that draws cards. So let's take Pummel Strike. Hey, we got a membership card. 50% discount on all products. And we've got a bunch of money, which means that saves us money right now, no matter what we buy. The Unceasing Top is not terrible. The Unceasing Top is when I have no cards in hand, I draw. That might be good with extra energy. And some zero-cost cards in the deck. And then I would love to remove a Strike card. We can do both of those. The Frozen Egg would be great, except that I can't think of a single power that is a common card. So why get something that upgrades powers if you can't get the powers? So I think I'll take Unceasing Top and remove a Strike. And then we are skipping this Elite still, right? We have a better deck than before, but I think we're still skipping that Elite. I'd rather have this upgrade to Pummel Strike. And then go to this Elite instead. And I do want to go this way. It means more upgrades, and I do like more upgrades. We could rob the Pleading Vagrant and get a Curse. I think we will not do that. We will just leave. Alright, we're facing Gremlin Leader. That's not too bad. I do want to defeat the Gremlins. The most efficient way to defeat this Gremlin is with Twin Strike. The most efficient way to defeat this one is with 2 strikes, and then we can hit Gremlin Leader with the Iron Wave. Oh, he's attacking. Alright, well, of course we're using Flex. There are some good block cards in my draw pile, so let's play Pummel Strike to see if we can draw them. That's great. Shrug It Off is our best block. Then we've got a Defend. That's still not defending everything, so I'll play another Defend and the Body Slam. Very nice Body Slam. By the way, maybe this was the right battle to use the Regen Potion. It seems like it no longer is, if it once was. Okay, we've got another good Body Slam. Unfortunately, these 2 gremlins have a lot of health, so the Twin Strike doesn't take out either one of them. But Body Slam will take out one of them no problem. So I think it's Iron Wave here, Twin Strike here, and then Body Slam. And I did the math wrong somewhere. I expected that one to be dead. Oh well. Start with Flex. I do want to bash. I wonder if we can just take out the Gremlin Leader at this point. If we do bash, Pummel Strike, and Twin Strike. That's a lot of damage with the Flex. Yeah, not this turn, but next turn, as long as I don't draw entirely defense, we're great. I did not draw entirely defense. What do we get? An Eternal Feather, more health from rest sites, and Regen Potion, which is more health through a potion. Getting lots of health. And we can't take any of those because none of them are common. That's the power card that gives strength. That's uncommon. Demon Form being the rare one. So the only way to gain strength I think I have. The Cursed Key here. There's no shop nearby that would remove that card. Remove the curse that I would get. So I think I'm skipping this chest. So that I don't get a curse. That does mean no relic, but no curse seems more important than 1 relic. Book of Stabbing. We are definitely playing Defend here. Am I playing a Regen Potion? Now that I got the Eternal Feather, it seems like there's no reason to play the Regen Potion, because I'm going to visit 3 campsites. And I'm going to regain health at each one of them. Just for going there, not for resting there. So I don't think I'm going to play the Regen Potion this time. Shrug It Off seems pretty important when there's 24 damage coming my way. No matter what, we're playing Twin Strike. And then the question is, do we defend 10 or do we deal damage? I think we defend 10. Now, it's only getting worse from here, in terms of how much the Book of Stabbing is doing. Definitely a flex, since we've got 4 energy. Let's start with something that draws cards. Shrug It Off seems quite good, as well as the Iron Waves. The Iron Waves give 14, Shrug It Off gives 11. Yeah, so let's play Shrug It Off next. And we drew a wound. Alright. Iron Wave it is. And then now we need to end this fight quickly. Next turn it looks like we're ending the fight very quickly. Which means, what do we do this turn? So next turn we have Flex with 2 Twin Strikes, meaning that the Twin Strikes do 11 times 2, so 22 damage apiece. That's 44, plus this is going to do 10. So we can deal the entirety of the Book of Stabbing's health next turn. So this turn we just want to block as much as possible. And then, you know, do a little bit of damage because we can't block anymore. And then we win. But we did take more damage there than I thought we would. Ooh, the Paper Frog. Enemies with vulnerable take more damage. And then the Swift Potion. Kind of makes you wish I had used the Regen Potion. Is the Swift Potion better or worse than Gambler's Brew? I think it's better than a Regen Potion. So Warcry is a common card that draws cards. Or we could take True Grit, which is a common card that gains block and removes cards we don't like. Take the True Grit. And that also means we can upgrade True Grit here. I think an upgrade on Bash would be good next because of the Paper Frog. Paper Frog makes the Bash upgrade better. Ooh, even more healing. So, we could take the Bloody Idol, which would mean we wouldn't gain 25% more gold from enemies, but we would be healing 5 health basically every floor where we get gold. Seems nice. Let's do it. Now we have a Bloody Idol that heals us pretty much every floor. And now let's upgrade Bash. And then do we want a combat or an unknown event? An unknown question mark room? I think we want a combat. Partially that's because I want to see more cards that we might want to upgrade. Partially that's because we heal 5 after this combat plus 6, so we're healing 11 after this combat. Which means if we just don't take damage, then we're going up in health. Cultist down. Let's go after the Chosen next. We are going to play Pummel Strike no matter what. So let's start with Pummel Strike. I think that I don't play either of those. Next turn does not look good, though. Next turn looks like a sad turn. I could make it slightly less sad by playing Shrug It Off, but that would be at the expense of not playing Iron Wave and 2 Twin Strikes, which I think is the better option. 12 damage here. Playing Defend would add 2 Dazed into my deck, but it also makes the Body Slam do more damage. So... Oh right, the Unceasing Top. First time that has happened yet. It has drawn me 1 card. But it did get rid of one of the Dazed. Alright, am I playing all the Defends? I think I am playing all the Defends. So that we take no damage this turn, but next turn could be bad depending on what we draw. Well, we actually win. Flex, True Grit one of the Dazed, and Body Slam wins. Took no damage, healed for 11. Great. Can we get another Swift Potion? I guess with all this healing, we don't really need the Regen Potion. Clash seems pretty bad. Clash is much better with Unceasing Top than it normally is, but the fact that we can't deal with any status cards that get added to our deck means that Clash is bad. Actually, True Grit can deal with some. I think I still don't want the Clash. Let's skip it. And the other ones were uncommon, so we couldn't take them. I did not get another card that I want to upgrade. I could upgrade Defend, or I could take the Ruby Key here in hopes that we go to Act 4. Let's take the Ruby Key. For my challenge runs, I consider it a win if we get through Act 3. I also just realized that the challenge rules are way too long. Let's make those a little bit better. Like that. How about that? Yeah, much better. So, I consider these challenges complete if we go through Act 3, if we beat Act 3. But that doesn't stop me from trying to beat Act 4 sometimes. Let's see here. This first turn seems pretty easy. We bash, we shrug it off, we true grit the strike. The strike is worse than the defend in this deck. I think I would like another body slam, by the way. If we get offered another body slam, I would take another body slam. No matter what, we're playing Pummel Strike. You know, of the 5 cards in our hand which cost 5 energy, I would not play the strike. So we're playing Pummel Strike. The next question is, are we attacking the minions? And yes, of course. Attack the minions. Get rid of the minions. We could defend as much as possible. No matter what we do, we're playing Iron Wave. And then the question is, do we play Twin Strike and a defend, or do we play 2 defends? I think we play 2 defends. Deal with that unit next turn. Great. Start with the flex. Now Pummel Strike. I think we want to hit you with the Pummel Strike. And we're not playing Strike. We actually could play... Let's do this. So now we've blocked enough, so there's no reason to play Shrug It Off unless we want to draw one of these cards. So let's play Twin Strike and a Strike. Well, the only one that can defeat him this turn is a Body Slam. I guess we're using Body Slam against the minion? That seems so weird. Rather than hitting the boss hard. But I think it's worth getting rid of this minion. It's just unfortunate that we have to use the Body Slam, which could deal so much damage this turn against it. Alright, not attacking us this turn means we deal damage this turn. Now, this turn is the scary one. Start with Flex. If we play each card, we're going to draw a card because of the Unceasing Top. If we drew Body Slam, that would be great. But we cannot choose. We drew a Shrug It Off, which it would have been nice to draw next turn. Oh well. We play all of these cards, so let's start with Pummel Strike. Actually, let's not start with Pummel Strike, because that would shuffle our deck. I want this Defend and this Iron Wave and this Body Slam to be in that deck before we draw. Okay. Now, we lose the Vulnerability, the Weaken, and the Frail, which means the battle gets a lot easier from here. Even easier, though. This seems pretty challenging. Can we defeat one of the Torch Heads if we bash it and Iron Wave? Bash, Iron Wave, defend. Let's try it. I think that's what we want to do anyway. So bash, Iron Wave. Now this would do enough damage to defeat a torch head. So that was better than playing the defend. But we're still taking a fair amount of damage here. Ooh. We have to survive this turn. How do we survive? Well, we can defeat this torch head, no matter what, with 2 twin strikes. So, twin strike, that saves us some damage, and then Iron Wave does defend a little bit more, but we're still taking 11. We have to deal 111 damage before we take 7 more. Kind of scary. We do have potions. I can use the potions as long as they do something for us. This turn, I think we start with Shrug It Off. Okay, I kind of wish we hadn't drawn that one. $33 damage. So right now we're dying. Right now we're dying, and if we draw that defend, it looks like we still die. Is it possible for us to win this turn? Bash and Body Slam would be part of winning. Doesn't seem like it. So what we have to do is draw 3 cards. We're going to play the defend. And then I think we do the Gambler's Brew on all of these and hope for better defense. Wow, that's terrible. That gave us some defense, but not nearly enough. Which means we have to play this other Swift Potion too to potentially survive. The most defense we can get is True Grit, getting rid of a strike, and then defend Iron Wave. How much does that get us? It gets us enough to survive. Not by a whole lot though. I mean, it almost perfectly blocks, but it's not great when you only have 7 health and we used 3 potions to do it. That was painful. Definitely playing Flex, Shrug It Off. Ooh, wish I had drawn more attack cards that turn. And we win this turn. I think a lot of this depends on us winning this turn. So, Bash, Pummel Strike, Iron Wave, and Body Slam. Does that win? Paper Frog. 75% more damage. So the Pummel Strike would do 17 damage. The Iron Wave would do maybe 11. And then the Body Slam does a little bit. What if we did Pummel Strike, Iron Wave, True Grit, Body Slam, and something that Pummel Strike drew? Would that be better than playing the Bash? So, let's total it up because this run ends if we don't. Bash, Pummel Strike does 10, 27. 27, and then we have enough to play an Iron Wave, which does, I think, 11, so that's 38. And the Body Slam, which does another 11, I believe, which is not enough. That would leave him with 4 health. The Pummel Strike couldn't really draw much better unless it drew Flex. On the other hand, if we start with Pummel Strike, dealing 10, we play the Iron Wave, which deals 7, So that's 17. The True Grit essentially makes it so that Body Slam is doing 16. So he'd be at 20. We'd have to do 20 health with the one other card that we would get from Pummel Strike. I think we die unless we do Bash, Pummel Strike, and we draw Flex. So let's try it. Pummel Strike, draw Flex. It did not draw Flex. Which means we're a little bit off from winning. Is it better to play the Shrug It Off than it is the Iron Wave? Can't be. Can't be. So this is where we die. We're off by 2 damage. Painful. Alright. There goes the Ironclad run. Let's see how the Watcher does. We made it to the end of Act 2 with the Ironclad only ever taking common cards. Trying to think of what we could have done differently there, but I'm not going to think too hard on it because being restricted to commons really limits a lot of the things you can do. One of the things I could have done was realize that I would need all 3 potions and just use the 2 draw potions before I use the Gambler's Brew. Anyway, we just lost on Ascension 4 with the Ironclad. Do we want to do Ascension 5 with the Watcher, even though we just lost on Ascension 4? I think so. Let's bump up the Ascension level simply because it's the Watcher. The Watcher has some great common cards. So we could go up 14 max health or 7 max health. Or we could upgrade a card. Upgrading a card is quite nice on the Watcher. And it looks like the places that the elites are in this act kind of make me want to go to that one first. Which means I do want to upgrade a card. Let's upgrade, and we upgrade Eruption. Alright, going the right path. I think we need to strike, right? The Watcher can do a lot of damage, but do we need to strike? I think I won't. So this turn I want to do Vigilance. We could do Eruption, Strike, and then Vigilance. I like that. Eruption, Strike, Miracle, Vigilance. And then next turn we don't just win, unfortunately, but we do fully block next turn, pretty much no matter what he's doing. Or we could stay in Wrath and very likely win next turn. Great. Now, we cannot get Foreign Influence, we can get Consecrate or Evaluate. Consecrate is a pretty nice attack that deals damage to multiple enemies, as one of the first attacks to get. Evaluate is interesting. Not sure how much we care about the insights when we only have common cards. Let's get the Consecrate. Consecrate is already nice here, right? Means we can defend everything and knock them both out in terms of their curl-ups. I want to hit which one harder? I guess the one that's upgrading. And then win. Whoops. Did not win, because I played the wrong card. Meant to play the strike. Flurry of Blows. Is that good? I don't mind having one. I'll have one. I don't know if it's going to be good. We can play a Flurry of Blows here multiple times. I guess let's do that. So, Flurry of Blows, Eruption, Flurry of Blows to defeat this one. And then Vigilance, Flurry of Blows again. No reason not to play the Defend. And then win. Just lucky. How do I feel about just lucky at the very beginning of a run? I don't know. Let's skip it. Don't really care to agree with the serpent this time. We are very far away from a shop. That's probably the shop that I'm going to. So we're very far away from a shop. Let's just disagree. Ooh, upgrade 2 random cards. Love it. Yeah. 2 defends. Not the ones I would have picked. But still, not too bad. Do I want to play Vigilance? I do want to play Vigilance. It stores up energy. The problem is, are we actually going to go into Wrath anytime soon? Because if we're not, why not do Defend, Defend instead? Trying to think if we would go into Wrath if we had the option. I think we would. So, Vigilance. Then the next question is, do we use the Miracle now? I believe we do. This battle is bad for the Miracle. So no reason not to play the Miracle. Next question. Do we play another Defend or another Strike? I think that depends on if we draw all of our damage. We would play Flurry of Blows, Eruption, Consecrate, Flurry, Strike, Strike, right? We could take out this one quite easily, I believe. The Consecrate would deal 10 to it. And these two would do 24 to it. And we still would not be able to defeat the other one. So let's play Defend. We did not draw all of our attacks, which means we're probably not going to go into Eruption. We're probably not going to go into Wrath. If we Wrathed now, we could not defeat this one. We would deal 9, 10. 9 plus 10 is 19. Plus 12 is 31, which means we actually should have played the Strike. I did that wrong last turn. Should have played the Strike. Oh well. Because if I drew that exact hand, that was the least amount of damage, and we still could have killed it with the least amount of damage. So this one, I believe we can kill the middle one. That would get you to 36 if we hit you with that. Otherwise, or 26. Otherwise, if we hit it with both of these and both the strikes, right. Okay. So what we do is we hit this one with Flurry of Blows. We hit something else with the Eruption. And then strike, strike, flurry of blows almost exactly takes that one out. Now, if we draw all dazed next turn, I will be very sad that I made this choice. We did not draw all dazed. We did draw enough to kill one of them. We will get out of Wrath. And the rest of this battle is sorted. That went perfectly fine, although I did make a very risky move during it. These are all uncommons, we cannot take them. Let's smith. And do we want to smith a consecrate? I kind of do. Another option is flurry, another option is vigilance. I think we want to smith the consecrate. We have a fair amount of defense because of the 2 defends that got upgraded. So, in this battle, I probably want to use the Fear Potion. Best possible outcome next turn is to draw Eruption, but not Vigilance. Alright, well, that means we're probably not going to play the Eruption when we draw it next. Do I still want the Fear Potion? I do. And then we can play many cards. So there's the Consecrate. We're not playing Eruption. We're playing the rest. And defend as much as we can here. Alright, next time through, we should have enough damage to take him out before he hits us again. Because we'll draw Eruption next turn. Oh man, that's quite a bad hand. Certainly don't want to end in Wrath. We could do Eruption, Vigilance, Defend, Defend. I guess that's the best option. I mean, the other option is to play the Fire Potion. I should consider playing the Fire Potion. Next turn, what's the chance that we win next turn? It's very low. Very low. If we draw all our attacks, they would deal 4, 4, and 4. That's 12. This would deal 18, this would deal 2. All of our attacks next turn would be just enough to win. I could take 2 damage to try to keep the Fire Potion, or I could use the Fire Potion to save the damage we take this turn and next turn. I think I'll do that. Vajra, very nice. A little bit better on Watcher to get extra strength than most characters, because the Wrath basically doubles that strength gain. Foresight, Protect, Cut Through Fate. Cannot take the Foresight because it's uncommon. Let's take Cut Through Fate. Cut Through Fate is very nice. It makes the Flurry of Blows a lot more playable because we deal the damage, we scry, we discard the Flurry of Blows, and then it comes back into our hand. It's better to draw the Flurry of Blows from your discard pile than your hand. Than your deck, I mean. I like the Lantern. Extra energy on turn 1. Seems we can do a lot of damage this turn. Flurry, Eruption, Flurry, Strike, and then Vigilance to defend everything. Win. Okay, the only option here is Evaluate. I have so far declined taking Evaluate. I think I will continue declining to take Evaluate. Alright, Gremlin Knob with no potions. Not my favorite. Could we die? We could potentially die. Cut Through Fate, we should discard that Defend, but keep the Consecrate. I am worried for our life here. We can do a fair amount of damage, and it's much better to end this turn in Wrath than not deal as much damage as we can this turn, I believe. Let's deal as much damage as we can. Flurry of Blows, Eruption, Strike, Strike, Flurry of Blows. And then next turn we're guaranteed to win. Could I have done that a little bit better and taken less damage this turn by playing Vigilance? I think so. I think I should have played Vigilance. Oh well. Hey, a Kunai. Kunai is very nice. It also works very well with the Flurry of Blows and Cut Through Fate and Consecrate. I like that. Every time we play 3 attacks, we gain Dexterity. It does make Just Lucky a much better card. Let's take Just Lucky. I would want to upgrade it, though. And unfortunately, we don't have a potion. We are headed toward another enemy. Ho-ho, we can take a banana. This is an excellent place to take a banana. Take the banana, heal 24, go directly into another elite fight. And this is probably the elite that we wanted to see the most. Do I want to end my turn in Eruption? Probably not. Probably not. And I mean end my turn in Wrath. But there's no reason not to spend some of this turn in Wrath. We should be able to use the Kunai this turn. We want to draw Consecrate. We do not want to draw Flurry of Blows. If we draw Consecrate, it would do 9 damage to all of them, which is unfortunately the wrong amount to defeat this enemy cleanly. We don't want to draw the Flurry, we want to draw the Consecrate. And then Defend and Strike. I should have played that the opposite way, because if I played the Strike first, we would have got the Dexterity and blocked for 1 more. And then this is a battle where the Miracle is quite bad, so let's use the Miracle now. And which one do I think I'm going to defeat first? Probably the right one. Concentrate on the Consecrate. Yeah, it's also quite annoying that Concentrate and Consecrate are 2 cards in this game. Granted, you usually only see one of them on a character, because they're on 2 different characters. Both the Defend and the Vigilance with the Just Lucky block for everything, so I guess there's no reason to play the Vigilance. Unless with Cut Through Fate we draw Eruption. Which means maybe we play Just Lucky first. Play Just Lucky first. Discard that Dazed. Then we play Cut Through Fate, hoping to draw Eruption. We do. Do I want to draw that Strike? I do want to draw the Strike next turn, so that's good. Now we can play Eruption. But if yes, I can play Eruption here, use the strike to defeat this one, and then either go back into Calm or stay in Wrath. Seems like staying in Wrath would be bad because we'd take a lot of damage this turn. We would have won this turn, though. But I'd rather win without taking the damage. Question card. That's very nice. Future card rewards have extra cards to choose from. And a fairy in a bottle could save us. Crescendo. Of these, Crescendo is really the only one I'm looking at. It's also one that you would like to upgrade, because upgrading it makes it cost 0. Crescendo is a nice way to enter Wrath. Wrath with Retain is quite nice. Let's take it. Ooh, the Molten Egg. I like Molten Egg. I do also like Lesson Learned, but we can't use that this time. I do not want to add another Flurry of Blows to our deck. So really the question is, do we use a card remove service or do we take Molten Egg? I really like the Molten Egg. It's expensive, but making it so that every attack that we add to our deck is upgraded, I like that. I'm going to take it. Spend our money. Now, with a fairy in a bottle, I do not fear for my life. Let's just increase the damage of something. I do want to upgrade the Crescendo, but probably not now. I do want to do the Just Lucky, but probably not now. I think we're going to do Cut Through Fate. Adds 2 damage, adds 1 scry. And Slime Boss. So, the real question is, how quickly do we split the Slime Boss? I don't think we split it that quickly. I think we're going to rely on our Kunai dexterity this time. Well, let's put the Flurry of Blows in the discard pile. Better to draw it from there than the deck. We can play Vigilance and Eruption. Could do Vigilance, Eruption, Flurry of Blows, Vigilance, Flurry, Eruption, Flurry, Strike, Strike. That would do a lot of damage. And we would do a lot of damage next turn too. Seems good. Does that do too much damage? It might. Let's be careful how much damage we're dealing here. So we don't want to go below 70 this turn. We are going to play a strike. So if I play a strike, we don't go below 70. If I played the Flurry of Blows, we would. We don't want to go below 70 because then Slime Boss splits. We want to do that this turn, so we can split the Slime Boss at the lowest health possible. Which would be if we draw that strike too. There we go. Slime Boss has very little health. Now we just need to not die. This is one of those turns where we could die. In order to not die, we basically have to cause the left one to split, which should not be too hard, considering I believe we could kill it. We can't cause both of them to split, so let's split this one. And I do want that strike on top. Alright. We're not going to survive with a lot of health, but we will survive without using our potion. Speed potion, not my favorite. And these are all rares, we cannot take those. So Holy Water makes it so that we've got 3 miracles instead of 1. Doesn't seem very valuable if we can't draw cards. The only way we have to draw cards is Cut Through Fate. Astrolabe we cannot take, because if we take it, the transform might make an uncommon or rare card. So it's really between Holy Water or Black Star. Black Star causes elites to drop more relics. I think we want that. I think we want to go elite hunting. Get lots of relics. So if we're going elite hunting, it looks like we go this way. That seems real dangerous. We could take 4 elites, no fires. That seems really dangerous. However, we do get to choose to verge at any point there. So if we don't feel like we can take the heat, we can diverge. So let's go in hoping that we can defeat lots of elites, and then diverge if we think we're gonna die. Which we might do that. We could very much decide that we might die. Kind of like the crescendo. We draw the crescendo this turn. So now we could crescendo. That would mean we would really want to draw Vigilance next turn, but if we don't draw Vigilance, we probably draw a lot of damage. And we're going to do a lot of damage right now. I think we win next turn. Win. Great. Talk to the Hand would be wonderful, but it is uncommon, so we cannot take it. Third Eye. Third Eye is better than a Defend. It has Scry 3 on it. I think I probably want that. Unfortunately, it's another card that I want to upgrade. Doesn't look like we're upgrading things this act. We could buy a random relic. It's right before a shop, though. So, would I rather buy a random relic, or would I rather keep my money and buy a specific relic at the shop? I think I want to keep the money. Choose cards to add to the deck. So we do have follow-up. Empty Fist is actually very nice here. It's upgraded because of the Molten Egg. Sash Whip is a way to apply weakness, which could be sorely wanted. There's also Halt. I think I want Empty Fist. We've got 2 ways to get into Wrath and only 1 way to get out of it. Let's have another way to get out of Wrath, with a plus on it that deals lots of damage. I see a lot of damage this turn. We can do Flurry, we can do Eruption, and then still end with a Defend, with a Vigilance. Otherwise, we could start with the Flurry Vigilance, and then do lots of damage, end up in Wrath, and take damage ourselves. Seems worse. So let's start with Flurry, Eruption, Flurry. And then we want to Strike, Miracle Strike, and Vigilance with the Flurry. That also gave us 2 Dexterity with the Kunai. Empty Fist. Empty Fist is interesting here because we could do Crescendo. Yeah, Crescendo, Consecrate, Cut Through Fate, Empty Fist. I think we just win. Yeah, we easily win without even playing the Empty Fist. There's another Consecrate, and a Tranquility, and a Sash Whip. So I'm considering all three of these cards. The Tranquility is another way to get into Calm. The Consecrate might be what I want, just because being able to deal with multiple enemies is a little bit difficult with only common cards, and Consecrate is one of the few ways to solve that. I think that's why I'm going to take this. Alright, we cannot afford any of the relics. Maybe we should have bought a relic then. Well, in any event, we can afford to remove a card. We could also afford a Just Lucky. Don't know how many of those we really need. Better with the kunai. Let's remove a card first. Could remove a Strike and then add a Just Lucky. Or remove a Defend and add a Just Lucky. Let's remove a Strike. Or maybe a Defend. No, let's remove a Strike. And I think I will add the Just Lucky Plus. Alright, first Elite Battle. One of the harder ones. We've got a pretty good turn 1, though. All said and done. So let's start with that. I don't know if I'm going to use this Weakness Potion. We'll figure that out before the end of this turn. We will use Vigilance. We will use Consecrate. And I probably should have done that in a different order. Yeah, I should have done that in a different order so I got the kunai when I played the Vigilance. So, we are blocking almost everything this turn. If I add the weakness to one of you two, then we probably block everything. Let's do that. I added the weakness to the front one because I think we're going to kill the back one pretty quickly. My intention is to kill the back one pretty quickly anyway. Crescendo is not the best right here, although it would mean that I would defeat the back one. Right? No, even with Crescendo, I don't defeat the back one. So we're definitely not playing Crescendo this turn. In that case, it's just Consecrate, Just Lucky on you. We get rid of both of those cards. Those are the worst cards in our deck. And then Defend and Third Eye. Those are some of the best cards in our deck, and I like seeing them next turn. Let's keep it. We do have our Flurry in the discard. We do. So, if we use Eruption, which we will do, how many can we kill? We could kill the front one and the back one quite easily. Let's start with that. So, I said quite easily, but what's the best way to do it? The Flurry plus the Empty Fist probably goes on the front one. And the Strike can hit the back one, so let's do the Eruption in the middle. So Flurry, you are going to get hit by an Empty Fist, but not immediately. Let's do the Cut Through Fate right now, so that we can decide a different option, if necessary. Drawing the Just Lucky might be quite nice. Yeah, let's draw that Just Lucky. Now we can do the Strike here. We can do Just Lucky right here. And then the Empty Fist gets us out of Wrath. And the Flurry wins. Great. Shuriken goes really well with Kunai. And the Darkstone Periapt. Not necessarily great, but if we get curses, we'll be happy to have it. I do not need another Just Lucky. I've got 2 of them. Don't really need the follow-up. Energy is not the problem. Even though it's a pretty decent attack that gives energy, I don't think energy is the problem that we have. So let's skip the follow-up. And so far, still good to go the 4 elite path. We get an Orichalcum. It's fine. Yeah, it's just fine. In fact, it's pretty bad with 2 Just Luckies. Let's not even take it. Let's take the Sapphire Key. Alright, a Book of Stabbing. We have a lot of attacks that cost 0. We are only spending 1 energy this turn. Okay, we're spending 1 energy this turn. But we do get to scry a lot. Let's scry 1 first. And get rid of that strike. And then scry 2. Get rid of that defend. And then scry 3. I think I like the vigilance there. And the consecrate. Let's take that hand. So, we could play vigilance and then empty fist. Get the energy back. I am going to have a pretty bad turn next turn, no matter what I do. The only thing that could help is if I drew Cut Through Faith. So next turn is not going to be great. Would I rather play the Empty Fist and get the energy from Vigilance, or play the Empty Fist and block for less? Potentially. I could block for 18, take 2, but get a wound into my deck. I've got enough scry that I don't think wounds in the deck are that bad, but they're still bad. I think I'm going to do that, though. So, consecrate Empty Fist. Then we're going to do a Miracle, Vigilance, and Defend. Ooh. Now we can play the Flurry and get 1 more block. Nice. As well as a Strength point. I'm glad that the Crescendo ended up there because I do want to discard it. Let's start with the Cut Through Fate. Yes, because even if I do Eruption, it's going to be because of what Cut Through Fate finds. Can't win this turn. Don't want to take 48 damage this turn. Discard that, see what we draw. We drew a Consecrate. Still can't win this turn. Yeah, still can't win this turn, so we do not play Eruption. But we do play a Defend that has a couple of extra points on it. Could have played the Speed Potion there, but it's only 5. I'd rather play it when it's doing more than that. Like potentially this turn. Again, can't win this turn even though I can use the Flurry twice. So let's do Consecrate, Flurry, use the Speed Potion to gain extra dexterity. Play the Just Lucky first because it gives us more dexterity. I don't really want those next turn. What's in the discard pile, though? Yeah, I think I don't want those 2. So discard those 2. And then we play the Defend for as much as we can. Still not the best, but we've got this Crescendo to win when we can win, basically. which is not this turn, but hopefully it's the following turn. Empty Fist basically is great because we get to Vigilance after it. And because we do Vigilance, we get the Flurry of Blows, which means we upgrade our defense some more. So we're blocking fully this turn. I don't want the defend. I want something that wins next turn. And strike wins. Bag of Marbles. Applying vulnerable at the start of the combat. Works really well with the lantern too. Calipers sometimes helps, sometimes doesn't. I like a Liquid Memories. Calipers, you only lose 15 block at the end of your turn, which is kind of a lot of block. Halt. Halt is nice. We can be in Wrath kind of a lot. Halt gives us a lot of block while we're in Wrath. I think I want it. That's a lot of zero-cost cards, though. Would be really nice to have something that draws cards. And there's not a lot of options for that. Ooh, Pen Nib. Pen Nib is nice. So here's the decision point. Do we think we can take an elite? With a Fairy in a Bottle, yes. So we're not going to the right. And we hit a shop anyway. Cannot buy Rush Down. We could get another Cut Through Fate. I do like the Cut Through Fates. Or we could get a Sash Whip, which is a pretty nice way to apply Weak. It's one of the only ways to apply Weak in the Watcher card pool in Common. I think it's the only way, actually. I think that's a very strong reason to take a Sash Whip. But do we take it here? Because the other thing we could do here is remove a card, and removing another strike could be quite nice. Could be quite nice. Let's take a Cut Through Fate and remove a strike. Now, do we think we can take a Burning Elite, a normal enemy, and a normal elite, and then another normal enemy, with 33 health and a Fairy in a Bottle? I think that's stretching it a bit much. Let's go the safer route. It's time to spin the wheel. What do we get? We get to remove a card. I like it. The Power of Darkness. Should I remove a defend or a strike at this point? Both of them make sense. I want to remove both of them. Let's remove a strike. I do like them being vulnerable turn 1. Do I want to Crescendo? I could do a ton of damage if we do Crescendo. And Cut Through Fate is pretty good at finding a way out of Wrath, this turn or next. Let's do Crescendo. That means that Consecrate deals with all of the gremlins, except for the leader. And then Cut Through Fate deals a lot of damage, and discards all of these cards. No reason not to play Eruption. Okay, we've got 9 cards. We're either going to draw a lot of damage or a way out of Wrath. And I believe we might draw both. Okay, we drew a way out of Wrath and a lot of damage. I think we just win. Easily. The Boot. And a Strawberry. Empty Body is another way out of Wrath. Don't really want another Just Lucky. And then there's the Halt. Do I want an Empty Body? I think the answer is no. because there would be some times where I don't want to play it because it would get out of my stance. And then I don't think I need an unupgraded halt. So, what's next? Seems like you lost me a little bit there. I think that the crescendo upgrade is not very important when we have so many zero cost cards in the deck, so I'm going to do Just Lucky first. And let's move on. Great time to have 2 Consecrates in the opening hand. Wish I had a way into Wrath, though. And then, who's the weakest one? Can we just defeat you? Not quite. But very close. Oh, Pen Nib. Ho-ho. Let's defeat you. I forgot about the Pen Nib. And then I don't think I care about the Defend or the Halt, but I will take the Defend Plus. We can do Eruption Cut Through Fate. Eruption Cut Through Fate takes one out. And we also get to play the Flurry of Blows on one of them. Oh, we get to play Just Lucky as well, which means I think we win this turn. Great. Like Water is uncommon. Can't take it. The only one I was considering. I guess the Inner Peace I would consider too, except that it's also uncommon. What do we smith now? Crescendo upgrade is still possible. The Vigilance upgrade is not looking too bad. And of course the Flurry of Blows. Let's upgrade Flurry of Blows at this point. We seem to be using it more often than before. Hello Megan, welcome to the stream. That's really over the top praise there. Thanks. Now, let's see here. First turn, really no questions. We're just going to get a point of strength and a point of dexterity. Next turn. So by the way, if you did not know, the way that these bronze orbs work, the 2 orbs on each side, when they steal a card, they steal the highest rarity card in your draw pile, which happens to be common for us. Our draw pile is entirely common cards, so it's just going to steal something completely random. So I want to do the Cut Through Fate first, and drawing the Just Lucky is not bad. That would be a 3rd attack for this turn, which is something I do want, plus it would mean we could Pen Nib the Consecrate. The question is, do I want to draw the 2nd Just Lucky for next turn, or not? Or draw the Vigilance at all? The Vigilance is at least energy. I think I'll keep the draw pile as it is. So we get the Just Lucky, we get to play the Just Lucky, and get the same choice. And then the Consecrate now does 20 damage apiece, which is very nice. And then we block. How much damage are we taking? It is 24. That happens to be Defend and Defend. It took my Just Lucky that I put on top. Hey, I wanted to draw that. The Eruption probably means that we can take this one out. Probably. Yes, because we've got the Flurry of Blows there, we can definitely take this one out. Let's therefore how do we want to play this? I think we do Eruption over here. No, we want to hit that one with Strike. So Eruption here. And then Flurry of Blows and Strike do the same amount of damage. Flurry of Blows can take this one out. Cut Through Fate. Do I want to draw any of these cards? Potentially, for next round. I probably want to be able to draw Halt because my Vigilance is not going to be in my deck. So now we kill this one. Discard that. We drew the Halt. Did not want to draw the Halt right then. But we do get the Just Lucky. And I don't want to draw that Defend. The Consecrate... Probably not the best turn for Consecrate. Let's discard. Because next turn he's going to have Defense, and he's going to be attacking for a lot. Ooh, I meant to end my turn in Calm. How about that? We can still do that with the power of Liquid Memories. But I definitely did that incorrectly. Alright, well, anyway. Let's start with Consecrate, Flurry of Blows, Just Lucky. Actually, no reason not to play the Eruption before the Just Lucky. Because then we get a little bit more block. And 2 defends next turn, not what we want. Next turn we want to do lots of damage. I could take the damage this turn instead of playing this Liquid Memories, but I do want to play the Liquid Memories because I just basically forgot to play Vigilance next turn. We could play Halt, though, rather than Vigilance. I like it. There we go. That blocks. And then next turn we don't want this Defend, and we don't need the Crescendo. Alright, next turn he's buffing himself, and the following turn he's going to deal a ton of damage. So the turn after this one, we need to block a lot. I guess that means we start with a 56 damage Cut Through Fate. And do we want the Defend? We don't want the Strike. Is an unupgraded Defend worth keeping? Probably, actually. Because we have 4 Dexterity. Let's keep it. Oh no, I forgot that one of those would be this turn. Those 2 are nice to have for next turn. And then now they're Just Lucky. The Empty Fist does 40 damage. Seems nice. In fact, maybe I could defeat him next turn instead of blocking. Didn't really consider that option. But let's consider it now. Especially because the Cut Through Fate is probably good to play anyway. Alright, let's win. Great. Now then, these are all rare. We cannot take them. Do we want to never rest again? If we do, we could get the Coffee Dripper. The Velvet Choker seems pretty bad in this deck with a bunch of 0-cost cards and a few draw cards. The Tiny House. Tiny House is generally okay. Lots of small benefits. I actually really like the Coffee Dripper. The problem is, how do we heal? We don't have any way to heal ourselves, and we want to go Elite Hunting. We do have a Fairy in a Bottle. That's technically a heal. Let's take the Coffee Dripper. No. Wait a minute. Why am I taking this? Having more energy in a deck that you have this many 0-cost cards, why am I doing that? Let's take the Tiny House. Just because I like energy most of the time does not mean that this run wants energy. So we could take a consecrate, another one, another crescendo, a flying sleeves. We cannot take the empty mind. Actually, I don't want any of those. That was probably the worst tiny house we could have gotten, because it upgraded a strike, which we don't actually want, and it presented us no cards that we wanted, even with the question card. Not the best. Now, if we're going to go into Act 4, which I still would like to try, then we have to go this way. Let's go that way then. And do I want events or combats? I want events. No reason not to play Eruption when we can also play Empty Fist. So let's start with Eruption and Empty Fist. And then Third Eye to set up next turn. Pretty sure that we could win next turn. I think I'm going to try to win next turn. We've got the Crescendo in hand. Just Lucky is one of the attacks we need. There we go. We win this turn. Ooh. Sad. Didn't think about the pen nib. I guess we could not have avoided. We could have played a little bit more attacks so the pen nib would be higher, though. Still don't care about the follow-up. Don't really care about prostrate. Not really. And then I don't think we need another crescendo, so none of those cards. Alright, we could never be able to heal. By the way, that would prevent the fairy of the bottle. Fairy in a bottle from working. Let's not do that. We could play I Am Rich, get lots and lots of gold. But then we would not be able to remove the curses. Seems terrible. Let's fight the boss. And we should be able to destroy this boss. The main trick is to not change him over too quickly. So we want to play Empty Fist next turn. This is 20 damage. 20 damage would put him at 75, which is not half his health. Oh no, this would do 30 damage. This would do 27. Could play both of those. Guess we're playing both of those. Alright, well, didn't actually intend to do that, my original intentions, but we did just win the battle on turn 2, so worked out. Gambling Chip is a very nice relic. We get a lot of control over our first hand, which is very important with the Lantern and the Shuriken Kunai, as well as Bag of Marbles. So the Gambling Chip really makes first turn better. Could get even another Cut Through Fate, or we could get a Crush Joints. Crush Joints adds Vulnerable. I like the Vulnerable. Let's take it. Find some potions. I think an attack potion with the Watcher is very strong. And I think the weak potion is better than the skill potion and the dexterity potion. Dexterity potion doesn't do much when we just don't have that many things that give us block. I think the weaken will be stronger. Alright, this is a turn where we definitely want the Gambling Chip, because the Gambling Chip says we are not going to hit the Spiker a whole lot. Although, technically the Spiker is only doing 4. So is our hand perfect? Our hand is perfect. Do not change it. We will Wrath here. play Consecrate, which will deal a lot of damage. Even though we were in Wrath, we still only take 4 from the Thorns, because Wrath doubles attack damage, not Thorns damage. And the other Consecrate wins. Bam. Ooh, a Stance Potion. Is that better than Weak Potion? It might be better than Fearing a Bottle. Yep, I think so. Could take another Empty Fist or an Empty Body Plus. The Mental Fortress, although would be great in this deck, does not work because it's uncommon. Empty Body or Empty Fist both seem okay. The last Empty Body did not have a plus sign on it, which is why I'm considering this one, though I did not consider the last one. I think I'll take this one. And I might really like that I've taken that in this particular battle. We don't really care about this defend. Do we care about the other defend? Not particularly, but I'll keep the Empty Body. We did draw Consecrate. So the best thing that we could do is defeat this middle one first turn. I think we can generally pretty easily do that. Cut Through Fate is a pretty overly easy way to defeat it, though. Let's defeat this one with a Cut Through Fate. And we could defeat that one with a Just Lucky. And end this turn in Wrath. There's an Empty Fist there. That's quite nice. Don't think we need the halt. I think we're winning very soon. So, either one of these defeats it. I was going to try to put more attacks in on the pen nib, but nothing I could do. Tranquility. Tranquility is probably one of the few cards that I really do want to add to the deck. Another way to change stances, and particularly a retain that puts me in calm. Wish it was upgraded, but we didn't have that option. And we could upgrade it right here. Or we could recall. Let's recall. Oh man, this is a very dangerous fight. Definitely don't want these defends in my first turn. Don't really want that crescendo either. But what can you do? Let's do an Eruption here, followed by Cut Through Fate here. There's a Flurry, which we could put in our discard pile. I like that. Let's get the other Cut Through Fate for this turn. Set up next turn a little bit more. If I had known there was going to be a Consecrate, I would have not attacked that dagger, of course. Would I rather have a little bit more damage this turn or a little bit more Scry? I guess the Scry would see only these two cards, so a little bit more damage. And this is the one that is pen-nibbed. So it's not a little bit more damage, it's a lot more damage. Ooh, you're summoning again. How about that? We have not a lot of damage, but we have enough to defeat this one dagger. And then we've got Tranquility and Crescendo that can remain in our hand. Empty Fist and Consecrate seem pretty nice. Let's keep them. Alright. Here's the reason why we need to get out of our stance, right there. Empty Fist could kill this one, but also the Consecrate is almost going to kill it itself. I guess we flurry... Actually, we're going to exit our stance, and so we're going to draw a lesser flurry. So let's do Consecrate, Empty Fist on Boss Lady. That gives us... Oh, whoops. We were supposed to play the flurry as well. Haha, messed that up. And then we're still getting 40 damage right now. Not much we can do other than block what we can. We can play this weak potion. That weak potion reduced it by 10 damage. Very important. And then, what is our next turn? Get rid of the defend. Alright, looks like a good hand. Start with Eruption. Flurry, Consecrate. It'd be great if we could end with Pen Nib on a decent number, but it doesn't seem like we can. So what we want to do is up the Pen Nib as much as possible, which is defeating this dagger before we defeat the boss. Mercury Hourglass. Deal 3 damage at the start of each turn to all enemies. It's something. Happy Flower gives more energy. And of course the Emerald Key to get into Act 4. Block Potion isn't bad. And... don't really want this. If this third eye was upgraded, I might consider it. But as it is, I don't. Let's smith the Tranquility or Crescendo. I guess the Crescendo. Ooh, a Horn Cleat. We're building a ship. We've got an anchor and a Horn Cleat. Smith again, of course, and I guess we didn't need to choose between those two. We could just say we're going to upgrade those two. Giant Head. Giant Head. I guess we want the Crescendo, and we don't want the Empty Body. Do we want the Just Lucky, though? Probably. Did not really want that defend either. Let's start with a Just Lucky. Crush Joints says if the last card was a skill, apply to Vulnerable. I like that. So we can do Crescendo, get back the Flurry. I want the defend to happen before the Crush Joints. So what we need to do is we need to play Cut Through Fate, followed by Crush Joints. Let's get rid of this Vigilance. We don't need that in the early part of the battle. Now we play Defend, Crush Joints, and then the Flurry, and then the Consecrate. I think that was almost as much damage as we could do turn 1. Wasn't the most, but it was almost the most. We've got Tranquility to get us out of Eruption, or out of Wrath if we want. We've got Eruption to put us back in. I guess we start with Third Eye. Start with Third Eye. I could see playing that Halt and Empty Fist next turn, so I guess we're going to keep the Strike this turn. And then we want... What's our largest attack that we're going to play? I guess the Cut Through Fate. So we want that one to happen on the pen nib. So let's do Eruption. Just Lucky. And then Cut Through Fate. For 64. And then we draw the strike, and we play the strike. 40 damage. Nice. I'm really considering the attack potion here. But is the attack potion better next turn? It's possible. This is an excellent turn to play Halt. We're going to play Empty Fist. So we're going to play Halt. And then basically all of the cards except Tranquility. Ending with Empty Fist for 53 damage. Oh, and the Flurry, I guess. We only need to do 68 more damage. And we always want to play the defense first to increase the slow value so the giant head takes more damage from our attacks. And then we win, quite easily. Can we win with Pen Nib on 9? We can. Great. Ooh, a letter opener. Every time you play 3 skills in a single turn. Not sure how often I do that, though. Centennial Puzzle is a way to draw cards. And then there's the Sash Whip that I said that I might want. Let's take it. It applies weakness. It's one of the few ways to apply weakness. Few ways to apply weakness when you're playing with the Watcher with no uncommons or rares. The first attack has a pen nib, which means it would be very nice if that was on a Consecrate. I think that's enough for me to get rid of all 4 of these, hoping for Consecrate. There it is, Consecrate. Boom. All but 1 dead. And then we just win. Speed Potion, not the best. I think the Block Potion is much better than the Speed Potion for our deck. I think so. Could have another Empty Fist. Don't think I want any of those. Remove a card. Wonderful. I'm going to remove a Defend at this point. Next are the Jaw Worms. Another one where it's nice to have Consecrate. It would be nice to have a way to get into Wrath, though. Let's get rid of these 3. And the Miracle. We can draw the Miracle back. We did not get a way to go into Wrath, but we could still with the Cut Through Fate. And let's Cut Through Fate this Jaw Worm. And I actually don't want any of those cards. Discard those. Alright, there it is. The Eruption. How much is Consecrate going to do? It's going to do 18 plus the 50%. Sadly, that doesn't quite kill the Jaw Worm. So I guess we're going to Erupt on this Jaw Worm as well. And then play Consecrate. And then win. I could take any of these cards, and I want none of them. Don't know what I would change with the deck, staying with commons at this point. And I think it's finally time to upgrade Vigilance. Alright, I'm pretty confident that we're going to beat this one. I don't know if we're going to beat it in Act 4, but I'm pretty confident in this one. Crush Joints doesn't really apply its vulnerable this turn. The defend seems relatively weak. Consecrate is not too bad. I think I'm going to get rid of the Crush Joints, the Miracle. No, not the Consecrate. The defend? I guess we'll hope that Cut Through Fate draws a better source of defense. Alright, we drew Vigilance. That's a better source of defense. Let's start with Cut Through Fate. There's the Flurry. We can discard that. And then, do I want that defend? Kinda don't want it. I'm only going to take at most 1 damage, I think, this turn. And I don't want a defend. So we can play Sash Whip, get rid of this artifact charge. And then Consecrate. That allows us to play Vigilance for 13 block. Wonderful. And of course another Flurry of Blows. Don't like that this one is pen-nibbed though. Does that mean I want to use this attack potion? I think it does. Attack potion on Reach Heaven? It could be on Tantrum. Let's do Tantrum. Because then we can play Empty Fist too. And I'd rather play the Tantrum before the Flurry, because this is what's being pen-nibbed. And then we can even play the Cut Through Fate. Let's play it. Hey, there's a Halt. Does Halt allow us to stay in... Well, it doesn't really matter. I guess we'll get the Halt this turn and the Crescendo next turn. I want to play this Empty Fist. Yeah, I want to play the Empty Fist, even though it exits me out of Wrath, which I don't need right now. Now, we've already got 20 defense. This one gave us 14. Where did the other 6 come from? Oh, it came from the Calipers. Right. We had extra defense at the end of that turn. So I could do Crescendo and Tranquility. Seems not necessary, though. Especially with these 2 attacks being all that I would get the benefit of from. So let's do just the Strike, the Just Lucky, and I do want that Tantrum next turn. I also want the Consecrate next turn, so no changes there. Maybe we'll have a change when we play Third Eye. Do I want the Just Lucky next turn? Maybe. I'll take it. And the Defend this turn, and that's it. The Calipers don't allow us to get another one, though. So we've got Tantrum, we've got Crescendo, we've got Eruption. A lot of ways to get into Wrath. No way to block. No way to block at all. That's not great. Well, no, that's not entirely true. The Just Lucky's block. We can play our entire hand quite easily. So I guess what we do is we play Eruption. Eruption, Tantrum, Consecrate. And then we can block. So we gain 6 block here. Don't want the flurry in my draw pile, I want it in my discard pile. And then the Just Lucky here. That seems like a fine next turn. And then go into Calm so we don't die. And play another flurry. Hey, there's our Miracle again. How about that? Got it back. I guess we'll start with Miracle. And then Tantrum. Or Crescendo? How much damage are we dealing this turn? Not enough to win. Let's keep the Crescendo. Tantrum. Flurry. Consecrate. Sash Whip, I guess? Cut Through Fate, which can draw Crush Joints. Seems excellent. Now we can play Halt, play the Crush Joints to apply Vulnerable, and then a Vigilance to end in Calm and draw back the Flurry. Pen Nib on 9. I mean, sadly, it'd be nice if I didn't have Pen Nib on 9. But the only way to win without that is... Well, actually, I think we can set up a way that we win next turn without playing an attack. Because we've got both the Mercury Hourglass and the... Where is it? The Letter Opener. So let's not play an attack. So we're discarding all of our attack cards. Getting a lot of block. And then this turn, I should be able to win with just playing Defend, Empty Body, Crescendo. There. Pen Nib stays on 9. Alright, we've got a lot of money. We've got only common cards. Don't know how that's going to work in Act 3. Doesn't seem like the best deck, but it is a whole bunch of commons, so what do you expect? Let's go. First, let's Smith. Smith Third Eye. And then we can buy the waffle. We could also buy an ice cream. Buying another Sash Whip might be good against the heart because you need a lot more reliable weak against the heart than any other enemy. But I still don't want it. I think I'd rather buy ice cream and Lee's waffle. Actually, what does the ice cream do for us? It just stores some energy. I keep thinking that I want more energy, but in this deck, what do I do with more energy? Not a whole lot. Maybe I don't want more energy. But if I didn't buy it, what would I buy? I would buy potions. Liquid Bronze. Liquid Bronze is a pretty good potion against the heart. The Distilled Chaos might be good. I feel like the Stance Potion is not necessary in most cases. Let's discard it. So we're getting the Liquid Bronze, we're getting the Distilled Chaos, we're getting the Lee's Waffle. And that leaves us enough to get Demaru, which is way too slow, or a Sash Whip, or a card remove. If I were to remove a card, I probably want to remove that last Defend, and it might be a really dumb idea. So instead I'm going to get the Sash Whip. And be happy with that mix of cards. Alright. Let's see what we do here. Step 1. Do we want these cards in our opening hand? I probably want the Consecrate. The Crushed Joints is pretty good. And then I probably want Third Eye, but I don't really want Strike or Miracle. Ho-ho, we got Crescendo. The only problem with playing Crescendo is it might be difficult to get out of Wrath, but we do have a pretty good set of things to get to look at cards, because Third Eye scries for 5, and Cut Through Fate scries for 3. So let's use Crescendo. That means that the Consecrate that is doubled with Pen Nib gets doubled again with Wrath. Or we could play the Crush Joints to put one of these weak, or put one of these vulnerable. I think I want the Consecrate first. Consecrate, and then we use Third Eye. So the Empty Body would get us out of Wrath and give us some block. We could play Cut Through Fate. We could play Cut Through Fate, Empty Body, but that doesn't seem as good as Crushed Joints, Cut Through Fate, Empty Body. And then, what do we want next turn? Next turn we want only one of the Sash Whips. Yeah, let's do this. So now we do Crush Joints over here. Then we do Cut Through Fate. And that draws Empty Body. The Vigilance next turn seems perfectly fine. And then, do you defeat him? No. Oh no. I was really hoping to defeat you this turn. Oh well. We can probably do it next turn, but we have to turn back this way now. Yeah, we have to turn back this way now, so that we get less damage. Is that less damage? Oh, I would have... Oh, I forgot about the letter opener. That was a mistake. It's a mistake that has not cost me any life so far, but it could cost me something. I want to play the Sash Whip on the Spire Spear. So we need to play an attack first. Guess that's going to be Empty Fist over here. Actually, 2 Flurry of Blows over there is better than an Empty Fist over there. So, oh no. Doesn't quite work. However, if Flurry of Blows was played after we gain the strength, then it does work. So let's play Flurry over here. Flurry over here. Then we play Sash Whip over here. Then we play Empty Fist because we want to end in calm. Then we play Vigilance. The Flurry of Blows over here, which now kills the shield. And the Halt, which doesn't really do anything. So the spear is not doing much damage. We can block even while we are in Wrath. So let's go into Wrath and block while in Wrath. Never mind. We just won because of the Pen Nib. Could have thought about that a little bit more. Bronze Scales, good against the heart. Having more thorns, we're going to have 6 thorns against the heart. Skill potion is not great. Don't want any of those cards still. The bottled lightning adds a skill to my opening hand. Is there a skill I want in my opening hand? Maybe not. What skill would we want? I actually want the skills on turn 2. I mean, the third eye might be good on turn 1. I guess let's put the third eye in my opening hand, because that allows me to set up the second turn. Yeah, let's go. So, we are going to put on our thorns. Drink that right now. The gambling chip asks, what do we want to get rid of? Actually, this is a great opening hand. Let's not get rid of any of it. So we start with third eye. And we want the flurry of blows in our discard pile. We don't want to draw the strike next turn. I don't really want to draw 2 cut-through fates, but I would be happy with one of them. And then what do I think about tranquility? Not for next turn. Okay, that's going to be my discards. Almost everything. Now, eruption plus the sash whip makes the heart weak. That's important. Flurry of blows, consecrate, and empty fist. That's a lot of damage. And we upped our strength and dexterity. Pretty good first turn. We've got vigilance. We've got defend. Crush joints is not bad. It's not the turn that I would care about crush joints, but other than the vigilance and the defend, would I rather play the cut through fate or the crush joints? Maybe the cut through fate, because we could discard some of the statuses we don't want to draw. But let's play the cut through fate last, because of the void status. So vigilance. Don't know if I want to play the flurry of blows or not. Flurry of blows would cost me 1 health. Is that something I want? For that matter, should I play the miracle this turn? Because I could do miracle, crush joints, flurry of blows, and then cut through fate. The miracle would do 3 damage from the letter opener. Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's do that. I take a little bit more damage, but making the heart vulnerable is nice. And it gets us another strength and dexterity. Okay, so we don't want the slimed. We do want the sash whip next turn, and we probably want the defend. Yeah, so let's keep that. Oh right, next turn we don't get the defend. This turn we have the defend. Oh well. Six damage per hit to me, taken by the heart, due to all that thorns. Okay, we did draw the void, which was the most upsetting thing. But we have sash whip, which makes the heart weak. We could go in crescendo. If we go to crescendo, the sash whip does more damage, especially with the pen nib. I'm considering that. Although, then it doesn't apply weak. Let's just do the sash whip as it is. So, that reduces the damage down to 50, which is still kind of a lot. And then we play Empty Body and Just Lucky, I guess. We could play those 3 cards with the Distilled Chaos. I don't mind that. I could even play Crescendo, and then those 3 cards. I like that plan. So we're playing Crescendo. Then we get to play 3 cards. One of them is a Just Lucky with the Distilled Chaos. And then Flurry, deal some damage. And then we play Halt while we are still in Wrath. We play Just Lucky while we're still in Wrath. And then the Empty Body exits the stance. And then Flurry of Blows ups our attack and dexterity. And then we only take 11. And we get rid of the Dazed and the Void. Not a bad turn. For the deck we have, I think that turn was quite nice. Might just be Vigilance Crush Joints here. Kind of a sad turn, but, you know. Oh well. After the previous turn, that one looked pretty bad. I guess there's no reason not to play Flurry. Yeah, there's no reason not to play Flurry. Even taking the 1 damage, it's not very significant. And then we play Empty Fist, we get a whole bunch of energy we can't use, and we play Flurry again. Actually, we don't want the Empty Fist here, because we want that to be doubled. So we'd rather do the Strike and the Just Lucky first. I do want that Defend, I don't think I want the Consecrate for next turn. So now Empty Fist is doubled. And then excellent turn to play our Block Potion. Alright, I feel pretty confident. All we have to do is survive this. And the Heart has debuffs, so the Sash Whip is not helping us here. We do have Empty Body and Defend. Are those enough? They look like they're enough. Yep, we survive, and the Heart probably dies next turn. Does that mean we play Sash Whip? Let's see here. I think that means we play Sash Whip, because we're not dying this turn. Does that also mean we play Tranquility? Because that would do another 5 damage? Yes. We play Sash Whip and we play Flurry of Blows. We still survive, and the Heart has less life. So we're very likely to win this turn, with just a Sash Whip. There we go. Alright. That was winning with the Watcher on Ascension 5, with a deck that has only commons and starter cards. There's the deck. I had a lot of trouble making that deck. Without the uncommons and the rares, it's really hard to decide what to put in your deck. But there it is. We beat the Corrupt Heart on Ascension 5 even. That's very nice after losing with the Ironclad too. This one really does set a personal best for the challenge. We defeated the Corrupt Heart, floor 56 on Ascension 5. And of course we have the Pauper, because we have 0 rare cards. We have 0 uncommons as well. And I actually got I Like Shiny because of the Black Star. Alright. Well, thanks for coming. That was a success at the end. A failure only in the middle. We've set a new personal best for the Common Sense Challenge. And I'll have a different challenge for next time.